This is a Vitorrio Veneto, a Tier 7 Italian battleship. As with all the other Italian battleships in the main Italian battleship line, the Veneto features Semi Armour Piercing secondary shells. But you do have to be within range to use those secondaries, and that can be an issue in standard sometimes. Also, the accuracy of the main guns might be a little bit suspect because there is not a historical Italian battleship commander. So with that, let's get into the setup of the ship and the commander, who is Littorio. And here you can see that I have Littorio. It's an Azure Lane Wave 3 commander. If you don't have this commander, your only other option really would be PAOLO REVEL. So let's take a look at how I have him set up real quick. Base trait is time is of the essence, quicken the reload time of your battleship's main guns. The inspirations are Andrew Cunningham for Concentrated Devastation, which increases the shell grouping of your battleship's main guns, and Robert Joujard Borer increases the battleship's AP shell penetration. And the skills, not one for the nuisance, reduces the risk of catching fire or flooding. Then I have Porcupine to increase the secondary battery range and shell grouping for any ship type, and then Firefighter, which decreases the chance of your ship catching fire and reduces the maximum number of fires to 3, while at the same time reducing the reload time of the damage control party, which isn't that great, but I thought overall the skill would be more useful than on second thought, which is switching between AP and HE shells. The last skill, the fourth skill, is Reaching Out XXL. Increases the maximum range of the main battery. And I have Will to Rebuild as a legendary skill. So if you don't have Littorio, this is your only option, and this is how I have REVEL set up. So let's go into Littorio and see how I have her set up. So base trait is Rosa Barbamento, reduces the repair time of incapacitated modules as well as duration of fire and flooding on your battleship. And then I have the same inspirations for Littorio as I had for REVEL. Cunningham, which will increase the shell grouping of your battleship's main guns, and Joujard, which increases your battleship's AP shell penetration. So this is the accuracy battleship commander for the Italians. At the moment, it is the only one available, so I've selected the standard accuracy build options for the skills. Flammable Cannoneer is the first skill. Increases the main battery range and shell grouping for your battleship, but increases the chance of catching fire for any ship type. The next skill is Gyrating Drill Bits. Increases the main battery traverse speed and AP shell damage of your battleship, but it is at the cost of decreased maximum speed. The third skill is Marksmanship. Increases the main battery shell grouping for any ship type, but reduces their rudder shift speed. And the last skill is Reaching Out XXL to increase the maximum range of the main battery. And the legendary skill is Fight Fire with Fire, removes damage overtime effects from your ship whenever there are 3 concurrent fires and reduces the fire damage. This effect can only be triggered though if your damage control party is on cooldown or fully depleted. So there you go, that's it for the commander setup. Alright, so let's check out the upgrades for the Veneto. The first upgrade is Aiming Systems Mod 1. Dispersion of the main battery is improved by 7%. Secondary battery firing range and its dispersion is improved by 5% respectively. The second upgrade is Propulsion Mod 2. Time taken to reach full power when accelerating is improved by 50%. Third upgrade is Target Acquisition System Mod 1. The spotting range and the torpedo detectability range is improved by 20%. RGA of ships, which is the guaranteed acquisition, is improved by 50%. The fourth upgrade is the Main Battery Mod 3. Main battery reload time is improved by 12%, but the main battery traverse speed takes a hit at 13%. And then we have the rest of the default upgrades here. Targeting system Type 7 Mod 2, firing range of the main guns is improved by 10%, all the way up to 17.3 kilometers. And then the second default upgrade is the engine, 130,000 horsepower, maximum speed goes up to 28.7 knots. The last default upgrade is the Veneto Hull B. The hit points go up to 64,800. Torpedo damage reduction is 38% with a rudder shift time of 15.5 seconds. Alright, as far as the loadout, you have your normal ammunition, high explosive shells, and armor piercing shells, which we will get into in a moment. As for consumables, you have your damage control party consumable. Duration is 15 seconds with a reload time of 76 seconds, and there is an unlimited number of those consumables. And then here, the repair party, you have 4 consumables. That is awesome. It will partially restore the ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 323 hit points per second. Duration is 28 seconds, and the reload time is 76 seconds. And then we have the exhaust smoke generator. Uses the ship exhaust fumes to create a smoke screen that reduces the risk of being detected by the enemy even while moving at full speed. So this is your rolling smoke. Duration is 45 seconds and it disperses every 10 seconds. So the smoke screen does not last much longer than its duration. So every time there is a puff, it will disperse in 10 seconds. Reload time is 142.5 seconds, and there are 3 of those consumables. Last consumable is enhanced secondary targeting. I want to use this for the Semi Armour Piercing shells rather than the catapult fighter or the spotter. The enhanced secondary targeting will improve the shell grouping by 100% of the secondaries, and it will improve the dispersion by 50%. Consumable duration is 30 seconds with a reload time of 152 seconds, and you have 3 of these consumables. I'm not running any boosters except for the Epic Battle Booster to get the maximum range of the main guns. As for the camouflage, I've created a Regia Marina Premium Permanent Camouflage. Sea detectability range and incoming fire dispersion is maxed out at 4.5% respectively. As for the stats, survivability hit points, as we saw, is 64,800. Armor is 13 to 380 millimeter with a torpedo damage reduction of 38%. Artillery, 9 guns. They reach out to 19 kilometers with this build, and that is awesome. Reload time of 29.9 seconds. Traverse time is 28 seconds. HE shells have a maximum damage of 5,800 with a 24% chance of setting fire. Armor piercing shells have a maximum damage of 12,960. And the secondary armaments, you have 2 types, 90 millimeter or 152 millimeter. The 90 millimeter, there are 12 guns, reach out to 5.2 kilometers, reload every 3 seconds. With a Semi Armour Piercing shell, maximum damage of 2,000. Then we have the 152 millimeters, another 12 guns, reach out to 5.2 kilometers. They reload every 4 seconds, and their maximum Semi Armour Piercing shell damage is 3,800. Here are your AA defenses. There is a significant amount of AA here, and you might be able to clear the sky pretty well with this anti-aircraft defense. Maneuverability, maximum speed is 28.7 knots. Turning circle radius is 810 meters. Rudder shift time is 16.3 seconds. Concealment, detectability range by sea is 14.5 kilometers. Range by air is 12.2 kilometers. And the range while firing in the smoke, and this is important with that rolling smoke, is only 13.9 kilometers. So just because you've deployed the rolling smoke does not mean you're invisible, especially to any ship that is within 13.9 kilometers. Let's take a look at the armor view. There is a lot of orange armor here, and that is a welcome sight. Let's remove the outer armor and take a look at the citadel, and you can see that the citadel is protected pretty well with 70 to 210 millimeters. And Here is a 70mm armament on the side, and that can cause an armor-piercing shell to ricochet at appropriate angles, so you do want to watch your angles with this ship. It does resist high explosive shells of up to 203mm. And then the bow and the stern and some of the other parts of the Citadel do have the 76 to 160, so you probably do want to do some bow tanking here if you can. And here is the thickest armor is up on top and in the front, so the Citadel actually does look like it is protected pretty well. I would recommend some bow tanking with this ship. Overview: agile, above average ability to change direction. Nimble aim, above average main battery traverse speed, gives an edge in close quarters combat. Nothing wrong with that as long as you can get within close quarters in a standard match. And exhaust smoke generators can disperse a smoke screen and stay hidden even at full speed. So the Vitorrio Veneto is a series of new generation Italian battleships. They stood out as having a good anti-torpedo protection and, at the time of their entry into service, for being among the fastest battleships in the world. Entered service in 1940, and there were 4 ships in the series, one of which was the Roma, which a lot of players in World of Warships Legends are familiar with. The Vitorrio Veneto is essentially a Roma with Semi Armour Piercing secondary shells and rolling smoke. So that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go out in a standard battle and check out some highlights. Alright, we're in standard, we're in Warrior's Path, and I've had some pretty good luck with all of the Italian battleships on that main Italian battleship line, but it is as long as I've had Littorio, I'm sorry to say. And I know it's an issue where you really had to pay for the commander to get the commander, but hopefully they will release an accuracy build commander for the Italian battleship sometime soon. And here I am looking at the teams to see what we have on the other side. It's 2 destroyers, looks like 2 cruisers, a Mainz and a Minotaur. Another Veneto, a Brandenburg Vanguard, Montana, and a Probita. So this is an aircraft carrier match. So if the Veneto gets attacked by aircraft from that aircraft carrier, we can come very close to getting a clear sky medal. And that is one of the things that I have learned from especially the Andrea Doria, where I did almost get a clear sky medal with the Andrea Doria, but all the Italian battleships do seem to do fairly well in the anti-aircraft department. So that is the red team Veneto over there, and he is almost within range. There is that Vandenberg at 19 kilometers. He snapped into range. That is awesome. He's going broadside. And I understand a lot of people want to do this because where they spawn is not really ideal, but I really have resisted doing that as of late. And here you can see why. I got a Citadel hit on that Vandenberg. Or Vanguard, sorry, not Vandenberg, but Vanguard. And there's this Veneto going broadside. Maybe we can do some good damage on the Veneto. And I am in a perfect spot at the moment. Even though I'm being spotted, I am sort of protected by this island right here from that Veneto. And at over 18 kilometers, a lot of those other ships could very well be out of range. There's the Vanguard. He did try to hit me from 16, 17 kilometers. I think it was the Vanguard anyway, but here he's still broadside. So this is looking pretty good. And right off the bat, 2.5 minutes in, not even 2.5 minutes in, we have 35,000 damage. So I am starting to back up. There's no need to go out into the kill box, as it were. And now we're up to 40,000 damage. And it is 2.5 minutes right now. So 40,000 damage in 2.5 minutes is not bad by my count. So now we are going to creep up a little bit. And we are down a little bit in this match. We are spotted by the red team aircraft carrier, it looks like. There are the torpedo bombers, and there's the Brandenburg right ahead. And he's not really broadside at all. He's got that angle that is very difficult to judge, and that's exactly what you have to do. You can't really count on auto aim to help you out there. So let's see if we get a hit on the Brandenburg, and we do get a hit. Another 4,000 damage, but it was only one hit. And the Vanguard is behind the island. And it looks like the Probita launched his torpedoes at my teammate right up here, 3.2 kilometers away. Now the Brandenburg is starting to move a little bit broadside, it looked like. He was starting to turn over to the left. And these are so many torpedoes. This has to be from one of the destroyers that's remaining, the Goering, it looks like. That's what I want to check there to see whose torpedoes that could be. And 10 torpedoes is definitely the Goering, I believe. But we're just looking around, see if we could find any targets. There is that Goering. After he launched the torpedoes, he moved off to the side over there, over by B. And there's the Minotaur. He is bow on, and that is not really going to be much help against this battleship right here. So hopefully that was a good aim. And there's that Veneto there. The Minotaur is being targeted by the teammates, and looked like he backed up, and that was a big time miss. So now this Mainz is really playing cat and mouse here with the blue team, it looks like. He keeps inching out and then going back, and inching out and going back. And here it does look like we do have a shot at him, according to auto aim. The island indicator went away, so we did take that shot right there. And we did get several more hits. We're up to 50,000 damage. And here's the Mainz coming out. Hopefully we will get reloaded so we can have a decent shot at him. We got 3 minutes to go, and I think he's going to start going back in there. He does, so that we're not going to get any hits at all, I really don't think. Yeah, the Mainz has really good acceleration forward and reverse. So that's the game that the Mainz player was playing pretty much for the first part of this match here anyway. So he had no interest in coming out into the open water. Suppose I don't really blame him. And there is a broadside Montana. So we are going to start inching out here. Even though we did hit full speed, it does take a while to get up to speed. And I have no problem citadeling Montanas or any other ship with this ship with Littorio, it seems like. And there is a good shot. The island indicator was not there. Let's see if we get some good hits on the Veneto. And we do. We're up to 56,000 damage. The Vanguard is down, but they are still, the red team is still winning. So they're winning by almost 200 points here. So this is starting to be a little bit of a big margin. And now I'm going to start going into the field here, over by A. I'm thinking about capturing A. I'm looking around. Hopefully the Veneto will come around from behind that island. The Montana is still over here somewhere, so I'm trying to keep an eye on them. There is the Montana right there. And here you can see I hit full stop and even full reverse, because if this Montana comes out from behind this island, I have no problem at all thinking that I can get some massive damage on that Montana. And here are these torpedoes here. This is a perfect setup right here. This is awesome. Go from 56,000 damage all the way up to 62,000. 65,000, and now the secondaries are starting to go. And there we do get a close quarters expert destroyed ship with the secondaries. So it's kind of fitting that the Semi Armour Piercing shells do get a destroyed ship here. And so now I'm kind of have my eye on this Veneto here. I did hit the smoke. And hopefully if the Veneto comes around, he will not see me. And so the smoke will be dispersed in about 10 seconds. Looking at the map yet again, and here we are ahead on ships, but we are behind on captured bases, captured flags. So there's a Veneto. Looks like he beached himself, so I'm taking some shots here. And these look like some great opportunities right here. And that was a massive opportunity for 34,000 damage. 2 citadel hits. We are up to 101,000 damage. And this is looking like a great match in the Vitorrio Veneto, as it turns out. I was kind of surprised. Hopefully we can get reloaded, but no, he backed up and I do not have a shot. And so yeah, so this mains is taking pot shots at me over here. So I'm going to go toward the mains and see if I can get some good targeting opportunities on the mains. But he is going behind that island. He's playing the island game again. So now I'm going to turn over and try to finish off the Veneto that's over here behind the island. So here you can see we're 10.5 minutes in, and we just now took the lead. Here is the Veneto up here. We haven't used the health booster yet, so the ship has maintained some pretty good health. We've been lucky that we haven't put ourselves in a position to be targeted. And so now I'm just waiting for the main guns to reload to take out the Veneto. I did hit the secondary booster. Maybe the secondaries will help to take out the Veneto. I'm not really sure why the secondaries on that Veneto is not coming back at me. That's kind of bizarre, but I did take him out. So we have 2 destroyed ships. We're up to 115,000 damage. And all that's left is the aircraft carrier on the red team. So it turns out we had a come from behind victory here with the Vitorrio Veneto. Alright, well the battle is ended and it's a big time victory for the Vitorrio Veneto. 269,000 credits, 115,000 damage on 43 main target hits, 2 destroyed ships, 3 citadels, 23 secondary hits, and a close quarters expert medal. So we took out one of those ships with our secondary guns. That is awesome to see the Semi Armour Piercing secondaries come into play like that. Alright, second place overall with 2 destroyed ships. And on the economy tab, by the time it was all said and done, we did clear 121,000 credits. So overall, not a bad match in the Vitorrio Veneto. It is one of the first matches that I've played with the ship, so I was really happy with the result. Let's hope that they get that historical accuracy commander for those Italian battleships. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.